In this second video, we're going to continue talking about expressions and equations. We're using the document that we started in the first video. We're going to talk about the quadratic equation. I typed this one using the non-evaluating Boolean equal sign just to illustrate the expression. And this is the well-known solution, which utilizes the plus minus sign right there, which is available right here. Now, if I want to actually obtain a solution for a specific equation, I will have to load my values of A, B, and C like I did in here, and then use this expression but with the assignment sign, and that will give me two results. Just as an exercise, try typing this result. I'm going to erase it and type X colon minus B, the plus minus sign from here, square root of B squared spacebar minus 4 times A times C spacebar 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 divided by 2 times A equals. And that's how I get my result. If I wanted to highlight this result, I could select the field, do frame, and change the background color, say green. That's one way to do it. Another way is like after you have the result, say X equals, and highlight frame, and highlight this particular result. I just wanted you to use this to illustrate the use of the quadratic equation, or the solution to the quadratic equation. You can follow that procedure to try solving these exercises. If you want to try that, pause the video and copy the values of A, B, C for each one of those equations and use this formula, replacing X with the corresponding variable, be it Y, psi, lambda, or beta. So we're talking about equations and Boolean equal signs. In a previous video, I mentioned that if you are solving a particular equation, you can use the solve function, and that in that calculation, under the tools options calculation, there is this property called the roots range, which by default will look for solutions between -20 and +20. The solve function has two ways to be called. One is simply solve equation variable equal, another one is solve equation variable, and then provide a low or high value for your solution. And here there are a couple of examples with two arguments. Here's the quadratic equation has been solved for X, and I found my two solutions within the range allowed. But if I only want the positive solution, what I want to do is add argument limiting the value of X and on the positive side from 0 to 10, for example. You could assign the result of solve to a variable, and that variable could be the same as the one in here, because right here this X just represents the variable you're solving for. Once a result is obtained in the right hand side here, that value gets assigned to X but has nothing to do with this other X, and so you will have the solutions like that, or assign it to another variable. To give you an idea, let's try this solve right here, solve. And since this is typed, I'm just going to copy it to facilitate finishing this video. And then put comma Y and the equal sign, and I get my two results. Now, suppose that I want to say, well, I only want the negative value, so I'm going to put a comma here, -100 to 0, and it gives me my negative result. If I change the limits to 0 to 100 of some other positive number, I only get the positive result. And so there are some examples there for you to try. Again, if you want to do it, just pause this result I'll post this video actually, and you can follow in your SMath Studio the solution of these quadratic equations. Yeah, this is a quartic equation, and so I invite you to try it using solve. And with that, we'll finish this second part of the video, and we're going to start the third part right away.